For the 12th task, we are going to implement the get user from session ID method that will take a single section ID, which is a string, as argument, and it's going to return the corresponding user none.
So we are going to enclose it in a try except block, and then we are going to attempt to find the user by the session ID. And then if a user with the provided session ID is found, we are going to return the user. And then if no user is found, we are going to return none. Then if there is any exception occurs during the process, we are going to return none as well. For the 13th task, we are to implement this method, this session method that will take a string argument, which is user ID, which is an integer that will return none. So as usual, we enclose it in a try except block. Then we attempt to find the user by the provided user ID. Then we are going to set the section ID of this user. We set it to none, that is deleting the session ID of that user. Then we commit the changes to the database. Then if there is any exception during the process, we return none. This method is going to be used for logging out users. For this task 14, we will implement a logout function to respond to the delete method of sessions root out. So define the route, and it's a delete method. Name of the function is logout, and it's going to return a response. First, we are going to check if the request method is delete. If it's delete, we are going to first try to retrieve the user session ID from the request cookie. Remember, in the cookie, we set the cookie, set the session name as section ID and the value as the UID generated. Then we are going to check if there is a section ID from the request. If it's none, we are going to abort with for retrieve from Flask. And then we're going to close this part in a try except block. We're going to check if there is a session ID from the request. We are going to use the get user session ID method of the auth instance to fetch the user object. So we are going to attempt to get the user associated with the session ID by using the get user from session ID. Then if a user is found, we are going to destroy the user section. And then after destroying the user section, we redirect the user to the home page after a successful logout. And if any exception should occur during process, we handle the exceptions by aborting with HTTP code of 404, meaning it's forbidden. But let's go back and import redirect from Flask.